Hi, I'm Matthew.Giobbi. Welcome to my music studio. I'd like to talk with you a little bit about some basic snags and errors that beginner players make. And there's a few of these that I think could really transform your playing. So let's dig right into it. First and foremost, when you have your instrument in your hand, it's depending on your size and your age, you might not yet have grown into the instrument. And trombones are big and heavy. And holding it for a while is okay, but then after a bit of time, it could get very heavy and cumbersome for you. Well, with that in mind, it's always nice to have a good trombone that fits you. And I'd suggest in the very beginning, of course, using a small trombone, not a big trombone, but a smaller trombone, maybe like this one. And even these smaller trombones, if you're a really young child, you could struggle to hold on to this. And even the build of the hand is for an adult, so it might even be difficult and even painful for you to hold on to the trombone. So I really recommend that if you're a young person and you're just starting out, don't be afraid to try a plastic trombone. Plastic trombones are feather light and they sound good, and they're easy to they're not heavy to hold. They're easy to hold for a young small person. Now, as you get older and as you grow into the instrument, you'll certainly want to play a brass instrument, but don't be afraid in the beginning to use a plastic instrument if it's helping you to feel more comfortable as you play. So that's number one lesson. Don't struggle with a big, heavy instrument. Along the same vein of thought, we have the length of the arm. When you go out to 6th and 7th position, I'll adjust this a little to show you. When you go out to 6th and 7th position, don't overstretch your arm. 7th position is all the way out, your arm fully extended, just like this. 6th position, all you do is move your wrist in like this. So 7th, 6th. I'll demonstrate with the slide. 7, 6, 7, 6. Notice my arm doesn't move. My arm seven, 6. And I see young people when they're playing it they're stretching out there real far to get the 7th position. And chances are your arm might not be long enough yet to get all the way out to 7th position. So you just have to make the best of it. But reaching out and stretching and making your body tighten up and wriggle around to get to it isn't going to help your playing at all. I have a feeling this comes from well-intentioned band directors saying, reach all the way out there till 7th, like it's some sort of aerobics exercise or something, stretching exercise. Just let your arm go out naturally to where you can get it to, and that's your 7th for right now. And then when you want a 6th, 7, 6, 7, it's a smooth motion, 6 and 7. And 5 is always a little mysterious, and it does change from trombone to trombone. But for right now, just kind of get used to 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, fully extended, wrist bent, wrist straight. Yeah. So don't think about struggling to reach out real far to 7th. Just let your arm naturally go to 7th, 6th, 5, 4. And be easy, no tension, no tension. So another thing that I think is important, and I should have maybe started out with this one because this is the most important. It's having a full breath. A full breath. Now, that's different from a dramatic big breath. Don't do this. like some big dramatic thing. And again, I think this is kind of a reaction to well-intentioned band director saying, take a big deep breath, like with animation, and the young person learns to do this big dramatic deep breath. Nah, no drama, just relax. Take a full breath. What's a full breath? Full breath's what happens when you yawn. Look at that. You yawn. There's your full breath. Your lungs, if you're a child, your lungs are going to be smaller than an adult lungs. They'll grow, they'll get bigger. Just take a full breath. What the full breath is for you, not a dramatic, big, deep breath. Just a nice full breath. And breathe as frequently as you need to. Take a nice, relaxed, full breath. If you do this dramatic breathing, it made me cough. If you do this dramatic breathing, it tightens everything up in your shoulders and your neck and your throat. It takes your mind off the music. Just breathe naturally and take a full breath, a yawn breath. Say, oh yeah, when you breathe in, and that'll give you a good full yawn breath, and go on playing. Another suggestion, empty your water key or spit valve. What's coming out of there is condensation from the heat difference between the external temperature, the temperature of the metal, and the heat of your hot air blowing through the instrument. Condensation forms. Take that out frequently and before you play, so you don't get that tut 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 rattle. That'll interfere with your tone. Another great suggestion for you is don't push real hard against your mouth. Experiment with how lightly you can seal the mouthpiece around the lips and not press hard against the face. Here's a nice start in that middle register where it's nice and easy to play with an F, and just go fa, fa, and experiment with how the least amount of pressure you can put against the mouthpiece with your lips and still get a rich, beautiful tone. I'm actually stabilizing my trombone in my hand and moving my mouth, my embouchure, my lips away from the mouthpiece to see how far I can go and still be able to play well. There, I'm going in and coming back until the air leaks out. And so get a good sense. That's where your high register and your beautiful tone are going to come from minimum pressure against the lips. The high register, when you so went up to a B flat there, and I didn't put any pressure against the lips. What I concentrated on was making the aperture, that little hole in your mouth, smaller. I actually puckered up as I go high. I say E. So I'm not working real hard to get up into that register. And as a matter of fact, if I push against the face, the mouthpiece, real trying to struggle and muscle it up there, my brain gets mental lock and my lips get so pushed and constricted that it suffocates any sound or air to go through, and they stop vibrating. So in order to get high and rich, beautiful, responsive flexibility, you have to let the lips be loose as a goose. And the only way to do that is minimal, only necessary to seal the mouthpiece against the lips amount of pressure. And some people play with a dry embouchure. I play with a wet embouchure. I find that the wet embouchure helps to make a little seal. So practice playing in that middle register. And in the lower register with minimal pressure in different positions. Yeah, and you'll find that your tone will become rich and your upper register will build. Building upper register takes years. It's not something that takes a week or two or even a couple months. It can take a decade to or longer to get into really high playing, and that you should have your your private teacher for help you guide you through that. Yeah. Another suggestion that I would make to you is in slide technique. Utilize the fact that you have a glissando and get your arm to do a nice choreography, nice and smooth, even when you're playing staccato or tenuto. Always a smooth arm. Watch this. So there's the nice smooth arm and the glissando, and I would just practice going up and down the slide like that. And then add a little light tonguing and keep the breath going. A nice supportive breath, and keep the slide going, and just let the tongue flick in with a little da, da. In my mind was thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on the glissando, and then I just said da 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 for the tongued articulation to make the notes separate and not smeared together. It's always good to have a nice choreographed smooth arm with no tension in the shoulder. 2 more things I want to tell you. Firstly, learn your scales. Memorize them, all 12. I know it seems like an impossible thing to do, but memorizing your 12 major scales just in 1 octave if you're a very beginner, this is the most beneficial thing you can do for yourself later in life. So many players have great technique, they can play tunes and they don't have their major scales memorized. I would start with practically like a C major scale, and then do the next 1 flat, F major, and then 2 flats, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and C flat. Then go to your sharp keys, G major, 1 sharp, D, 2 sharps, A, E, B. F sharp, C sharp. And memorize, you'll notice that F sharp and G flat are the same scale, and C sharp and B natural are C flat and B natural are the same scale. D flat and C sharp are the same scale. There is enharmonic. So you're really not learning 12 different scales to the ear, just to the mind. So take your time and practice that C major scale until you have it memorized. I would say that at this point in your learning, since you're a student, young student, beginner player of any age, learn those 12 major scales, and there's really 3 basic articulations, the way to play the note, that you need to know. The most common is the tenuto tonguing, the da, 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 da. Listen to this. This is tenuto tonguing, da, 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 da. I'm keeping the air flowing. I'm just saying da, 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 da. And it's giving a distinct note for each playing, but it's not too detached and it's not too connected. It's just in the middle. On the real smooth end of things, we have legato tonguing. And you can think of this as a softer duh, but I think of it as a thuh. So I actually thuh. When I say duh, my tongue is hitting the lower duh, 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 the lower part of the roof of my mouth, right where the gums are with my teeth, duh, 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 duh. When I say thuh, the tip of my tongue right here is hitting my teeth, thuh, 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 thuh. Listen to the difference between thuh and duh. Thuh gives a smoother, connected sound. Here's duh. Here's thuh. You hear the difference? That's legato and tenuto. There's only one other articulation you really need, and that's the ta, the ta tonguing or tuh. You can change the vowel at the end, ta, tuh, ti, to get different sounds. To, it'll change the sound. Experiment with that. I use ta, 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 and that's staccato, detached. Again, watch my arm is still going to be smooth. I'm still doing a glissando arm. My tongue's doing all the articulation. Did you hear that? Ta, 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 ta. So, tha for legato, da for tenuto, and ta for staccato. And that's minimal pressure, a natural supportive full breath, and a nice graceful arm, not too much pressure against the face, and don't overdo with your 6th and 7th position. And boy, those are some really good places to start. Enjoy playing the trombone.